Thanks for staying with us at STL Live. I'm Jade Harrell. My guests are founder and co-founder of Books and Bros, LLC, Sidney Keys III and Winnie Caldwell. We were just talking about how exciting it was to see images of African Americans and having African American literature to read and what a difference that made for you. What did your love of reading, how did that change once the images and the stories you could connect to were present?
So I've always been an avid reader, but reading before I got really introduced to that kind of African American literature would be, I would picture the characters and the story doing their actions and have my imagination do all the work. But instead, whenever I could see myself in the story, I picture myself as the character in the story. And it's such a different point of view and makes the story so much more interesting, because it makes you feel like you are like personally in the story instead of seeing other people doing all the work in the story.
Wow. So this could have been just a hobby that you decided to share. This became an entrepreneurial opportunity. How did it become that?
Yes. So I also recognized that at that time, there weren't a lot of Black-owned subscription-based companies. And I figured, okay, my son has something that is needed in the community. This is also an opportunity where I could teach him about entrepreneurship, financial literacy, all while honoring, what his interests were. And so I helped him turn Books and Bros from a hobby into a subscription-based business. So we started with 7 boys locally, and we've reached over 300 internationally.
Internationally, my goodness. So what worked for you also works for young men all over the world. So how has this changed life for you?
This has changed my life so drastically. It's crazy to think about it. I would have never thought I would have been able to be on the Steve Harvey show, be interviewed by amazing people like you, and be on radio stations just all the time. It's so amazing how this has changed my life and changed so many other people's lives as well. Because not only my life has changed from this, but everybody who's in the book club's lives have been changed as well. So many bros, the reading scores have been increased. They've increased their love for reading. They're happy to actually see the new book this time. Instead of being forced by their parents to join the book club, they're like, when's the next meetup? And it just makes me feel really good inside.
So how does the club work? How do young men get involved, and what do you guys do?
So normally we'll host our meetups once a month on the first Sunday of every month from 4 to 6. And basically we will have our meetups at the Ferguson Youth Initiative, which is basically a community space for young folks by the Ferguson City Hall. But we'll just all get into groups, we'll have an icebreaker, because a lot of the bros and boys who come to the book club, they personally didn't say, hey mom, I want to join this book club. Their parents are like, Jimmy, I'm going to sign you up for this book club. And they're like, why? And so basically we just want to break the ice, but after that they seem to be smiling and we can finally get into the discussion.
That's cool. How old are you now, Sidney?
I'm 13 years old.
Okay, so is it still cool to read for you?
Definitely. I mean,
right? He's still very excited about this. Winnie, it's a powerful impact that you've had with this work and also in your son's life. Tell me how you're taking it beyond now the books and reading to some programs and events like your red carpet.
Yes, so like Sidney said, we host monthly meetups during the summer and sometimes even in the fall and winter. When the kids are on break from school, we'll have writing workshops to just kind of take their reading to the next level and allow them to have that moment to write out their own stories. We also, Sidney gave me the permission to start a nonprofit alongside with Books and Bros called Chubb Cares Adopt a Bro. It's in honor of my oldest brother who passed away when I was younger. He was failed by the school system, but he was very gifted. And so initially, before testing him, they tried to deem him as special needs. And then once they tested him, they figured out that he was actually gifted and nothing changed. They put him back in the same classroom. Therefore, he got distracted by other things, and unfortunately, he's not here today. And so I didn't want to see financial hindrance being an issue when it came to our book club, because you do have to pay a monthly fee. And so I asked Sidney for the honor to start a nonprofit so that way we can have bros to join for free and be sponsored by someone else.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
All right, so then real quick, the red carpet event.
Yeah, that's
describe that for me in about a minute.
Yeah. Books and Bros is having their first red carpet event. It'll be at Innovation Hall, 4220 Duncan, June 30th on my brother's birthday in honor of him, so that way we can spread the awareness of African American literacy, celebrate and highlight together.
We are excited to celebrate and highlight with you too. Excellent work, the both of you.
Thank you.
And way to spark that light for other people, Sid.
Thank you.
You. You can learn more about Sidney Keys III and his upcoming red carpet experience by visiting booksandbros.com/event. There is more STL Live after this, so stay with us.